next comic coming out, he runs a local open mic. He's a fantastic guy and a friend of mine. His name is Matthew Tate.
Oh, thank you. How are y'all doing tonight? All right. That's what I like to hear, guys. It's good to be here tonight at Stand Up Live. It's good to be here tonight. I almost wasn't here tonight because my mom took birth control. It's good to be here, though. A little bit about me, guys. I recently found out that I'm going to be a father. Thank you. Yeah, so I was bitten by a Catholic priest. It turns out that works exactly like vampirism, guys. All right, yeah. Used to work in politics when I lived in Illinois. I don't do that anymore that I live down here, but I am still politically active. I recently made a Facebook post basically about my dismay about the Brett Kavanaugh appointment to the Supreme Court, and somebody popped on that, about that post that I made that was talking about, the rape allegations, and he went, well, actually. And when somebody says, well, actually, to you like that, you're about to be white mansplained to? And he said, well, actually, there's a lot of men who are falsely accused of rape out there. I was like, no, there's not. I mean, I didn't bother to crunch the numbers with him because I'm pretty sure guys like this guy believe that statistics are just a liberal conspiracy. But, yeah, I can't stand people who reframe debates like that. People who pop on to like a Me Too debate and try to make it about, the poor men. They're the same people who would walk into a Black Lives Matter rally last year and just go, hey, what about me? I'm important. Nobody should be shooting at me either. Like, nobody's shooting at you, dude. Chill out. And you grew up with them too, right? It was always that kid sitting at the front of your class when you were in elementary school, and the teacher would be going over the vowels, and she'd be like, "Okay, class, we're gonna go over our vowels. They're A, E, I, O, U." And this little fuck in the front would suddenly raise his hand and go, "And sometimes Y." Like, shut the fuck up, Todd. Nobody's talking about Y right now. That's not the topic of discussion. You're right, that's probably dark subject matter for a comedy show, I'm sorry. We'll move on to something less depressing. So I was at a funeral recently. Good friend of mine, her father passed away, and she invited me to the service. It was actually only the visitation I was supposed to be at, and I show up and I see everybody is seated and quiet, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that the funeral was today too. I'm there to pay my respects. I'm going to be respectful. I sit down, and the minister gets up, and he starts doing the service. And as he starts talking about this wonderful, amazing human being, this war vet who was always there for his family and was still physically active and active in the community into his mid-70s, I realized that I was at the wrong funeral home. And now I'm stuck in a two-part conundrum, guys. Part one, how do you leave the funeral of the wrong dead guy without appearing like a jerk? And part two, I'm late for the correct dead guy's visitation. But I'm a problem solver. I just started crying hysterically and stormed out of the building. I got in my car and I went to the correct... Well, by the way, why did they put two funeral homes right next to each other on the parkway? You can't even see one of them from the road. No. I got there in time to pay my respects. I'm at the end of the line. I get to the front. I'm looking down now at this man in repose, and the thought occurs to me, like, one day that will be me. And when that day comes, like, what do I want to leave as my final legacy? What do I want people to remember me by? And I figured it out, guys. I want whoever's presenting me to just offer everybody paying their respects the option to take a selfie with the deceased and share it on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and hashtag it funeral. So if you can't tell by that material, I'm single. Been single for a while. I don't like to think that in being single that I'm like sad or depressed or lonely. I don't like to think that because it's true. I like to think that I'm just holding out for the right lady, you know what I mean? You found her. She's right there. But, you know what I mean? You're eating, that looks delicious. What is that? That is good. Is that chicken Alfredo? Yeah. Order that. But I like to think that I'm just holding out for the right lady. You guys know what I mean. We're all on the same page. I'm talking about Serena Williams. You know? I like a lady who can bench press me. It's not hard to do. Look at me. I look like if Walter White gave up in the first season of Breaking Bad. He was like, "What's that, doc? I have cancer? Well, I'm checking out." But, yeah, and I was talking to this guy about this at the bar the other day, and he was like, "Tate, you're crazy. That lady would crush you." You know what, Todd? That's the fucking point. I want her to crush me, you know? One day she'll return all those Twitter DMs she's been ignoring. She has been ignoring me. It's like love means nothing to that tennis player, you know? One day she'll realize those were all cute and endearing and romantic. You know, all those pictures where I photoshopped out her husband's face and replaced it with my face, and then she's gonna leave that Hollywood actor loser and get with the real hero, you know? Yes, it is completely normal. It's normal and it's natural and it's beautiful and it's totally gonna happen. Don't laugh at my dreams! Nah, because you know what? At the end of the day, I don't want to go out in my late 60s suffering from cirrhosis and dementia, you know, like yelling at kids to get off of my lawn at noon, even though I don't have a lawn because I live in a pay-by-the-week because I drank away all the money I made because I made horrible life decisions, you know? Like, I want to go out when I'm in my mid-30s and I'm in the seedy, questionably clean bed of a Motel 8 because that's all I could afford with the shitty pay I made off of my last disappointing road comedy gig. And I'm just chained to the bed with a ball gag in my mouth. And Serena Williams is there because at one point we met each other and I went, "Baby, you can quit tennis. I'm going to take care of us from now on. I'm going places." And she believed that shit. I'm a garbage human being if you met me, but she believed it. Now she's taking out all of her bad life decisions out on me in a very sexual, aggressive manner as she's on top of me, straddling me, riding me cowgirl style. And every time she falls back into me, she breaks more and more of my bones because I'm only 140 pounds soaking wet and too stupid to know what nutrition is. And then she starts choking me, right? Because autoerotic asphyxiation is the only way I know how to feel anything anymore. You know, like Chris Cornell or Chester Bennington. And she does it harder and harder, and my lights, like the light starts to go out from the edge of my eyes, and I start to turn as blue as a loaf of bread you've forgotten in the back of your pantry for 12 damn years. I try to scream out with my last dying gasp, "I love you, Serena," but it just comes out, Serena. You know, because the ball gag. That's how I want to die, guys, you know? I will not be able to rest in peace, you know, until I know what Serena Williams' butthole tastes like, you know? Like right after a match, before she hits the showers. I bet it tastes like cocoa butter and victory. All right, you guys have been amazing. I love you very much. Thank you. Thank you.